Welcome to Ripped from Reddit. I'm your host Daniel. r/AskReddit. What are some green flags that someone is a good person? When they speak positively about their friends when they aren't there. I'd never say this to her face, but she's a wonderful person and a gifted artist. Why wouldn't you say that to her face? Crippling social anxiety. I visited a friend with my fiance, and when I stepped into the bathroom he thought I couldn't hear them. He spent the whole time I was away telling my fiance what a genius I am, and how nice I am, etc. Super nice of him, I'll never forget it. I try to do this, and somehow always start talking bad about people. I hate it. Looks like you aren't a good person. Time to wrap it up. When person makes a promise and keeps it, especially when they offer to help other people, this is a sign of someone you can count on. I feel called out on this one. I promised my C's to accompany her to another city for an interview cause she doesn't want to go alone, but her interview got postponed to a later date, which meant that I'd be missing 4 days instead of the initial 2 days of class. I had to message her that I would have to go back on my promise and she hasn't replied yet. I wouldn't put that on you at all. Your promise was to accompany her for her interview on a set date. I'm sure she'll understand, but if she doesn't have someone else to come with her, consider buying her a small plushie keychain, something a bit personal that she can take with her and hold to give her some courage. I know if I was in her shoes, that would help me out. When they actually listen to you when you are talking and try to understand you. Right, I'm starting to notice when people are listening as opposed to just waiting for their turn to speak. I catch myself doing this and realize how much of an ass I must seem like. Quick fix. I'm sorry you were talking. Go on. I'm listening. Look at how they treat strangers they will never meet again. Especially customer service workers. Baristas, waiters, grocery store clerks, cashiers at retail stores, etc. If I had $1 for every time I saw this on Reddit, I would be a very rich man. Well, you don't hear the words, so you would still be broke and living in a stolen martyr. That one was a red flag for me regarding my ex. It annoyed the fuck out of me when she wouldn't say hello, please or thank you to cashiers on checkouts. The worst part about it was that she also worked on checkouts, so should know by experience not to treat checkout staff and other staff like shit. I once overheard a mother telling her daughter at the grocery store, "You don't have to be nice to them, it's their job." I was speechless. It happens more often than you think, unfortunately. Till my mom is not a good person. Ironically, I've lots of issues with my mother, but one thing she definitely did right was make sure I grew up being polite to service workers. For me, rudeness to service workers comes off as even worse as a result. If even my mom can do it, how much of a prick do you have to be to not be polite to service workers? My last boyfriend broke up with me for a whole laundry list of reasons, but one being that I was too polite to customer service workers. One time I was just trying to be cool to the guy doing my tattoo and my ex just ups and takes an Uber home because the way I was acting made him feel like I was trying to impress the guy. Like, no you dumb fuck, this guy is putting a permanent picture on my arm, I'm gonna be cool with him so does a good job and doesn't overcharge me. Thank God he's an ex. Best thing that ever happened to me. Edit. PS. It fucking worked. After my ex left, the artist was like, "You're a cool dude," and charged me $150 for a tattoo that was easily $250 to $300. I gave him $300 anyway. Breaking up with you for being nice? Jesus, what is wrong with people? I'll bet he thought he's such a civilized human being too. They fill up the gas tank after using your car. I lent my friend my car when my wife and I went on vacation one time, and the crazy bitch not only filled it up, but got it detailed as well. Drops coffee on the center console. Guess I have to get the car detailed now. Murders homeless man in backseat. Well, this isn't going to clean itself up. I borrowed a buddy's truck to move and made sure to fill it and have it detailed as well. I did it because I appreciated being able to borrow it and not having to rent a U-Haul. Plus I would like to have the option of borrowing it again if needed. 100%. If someone did all this, I would let them borrow my car again. This lady at Aldi today let me keep my quarter while switching cards. That was pretty cool. Only been to Aldi's twice in my life. Second time, I was returning my cart when an elderly lady asked me if she could give me 2 dimes and a nickel for my cart. because she didn't have a quarter on her. I tried over and over to refuse the coins. It was only a quarter after all, but she wouldn't take the cart without giving me the 25 cents. Finally gave in. Felt bad. Now I don't go to Aldi's out of fear of converted little old ladies lol. My husband is so nice to old ladies and they love him. Once in a while I sent him to find somebody to help us. 30 minutes later I left to find him. Since he'd never returned, he had been helping an old lady figure out which Fitbit watch would be the best for her. He never even reached a person. So I went and found help on my own. He's just playing the long con and waiting till you turn into a GMILF. Man, I got really heated last time I left Aldi. Was walking towards the cart return and gathering my bags because you can't be a man if you can't tote your groceries all in one go. A lady was there fidgeting with her purse. When I start to get my quarter back, she goes, "Oh, I'll just take yours." She starts to put her stuff back in her purse, and I'm standing there in front of the cart holding all my bags. She looks up and just stares at me expectantly for a couple seconds. I say the quarter, she just goes, "Oh, never mind then." Normally I give my cart up all the time to people, and often don't even wait on their quarter, but the way she said, "Oh, I'll just take yours," as if she expected it as a birthright or something, left me feeling much less than generous. How entitled can you be? You don't even greet me, don't even acknowledge me as a human being, and just expect me to give. As I'm walking away with my quarter, another guy walks up and gives her his cart, and she loudly proclaims, "Thank you. I wish everyone was as nice as you." Even in a disagreement, they still care about your feelings. The way somebody treats someone, that can do nothing for them. When they are pissed off, absolutely furious, they don't resort to low blows. A good person can articulate how pissed off they are at someone without having to make fun of their appearance, weight, race, age, religion, any of that. Came here to say this. The way people handle their anger says a lot about them. I've never heard my boyfriend speak poorly about another person. I can be a petty bitch, but he will always remind me that there could be multiple reasons people act the way they do, and we might know nothing of their situation. Even when he's super pissed at someone, he'll say, "I wish they wouldn't act that way. I hope they understand how frustrating their behavior is." He's the best person I know. Edit. 2 gold? Holy shit. Thank you, kind strangers. My father-in-law used to scold his dog by saying firmly, "Magnolia, that behavior is unseemly." I miss him. Was your father-in-law Captain Raymond Holt? Magnolia, you are behaving like some common bitch. This isn't Magnolia, it's some common bitch. If they are able to describe you or other people with specificity, if they are observant and particular with their compliments, this, in my opinion, is the sign of someone who actually pays attention to other people and sees them as more than side characters in their own story. This is a good one. Whenever someone gives me a genuine specific compliment about something I did that often goes by unnoticed, I'm so blown away by it. I'll try to do that in the future as well. I always feel so awkward giving compliments. I'm afraid people will think I'm trying to ask for something. Get in the habit of doing it, and people will come to know you're complimentary for its own sake, when they are honest at a detriment to themselves. X. In a technical field, I trust someone way more when they are asked a question about something they probably should know, could bullshit the answer to without repercussion, but instead say they'll get back to you on that. Absolutely this. The person who says it depends, or I'll have to check on that is aware of their own limitations, and b. aware of how many variables are at play. That's the person who knows what they are doing. The guy who can spout an answer in 2 seconds? Unless the question is what's 2 plus 2, he's either bullshitting and hoping for the best, or genuinely too stupid to realize how much he doesn't know. Or, on occasion actually knows the answer. I mean, if you ask a doctor whether you should change your diet along with the meds, and the doc says yeah, no alcohol, I'd be pretty sure it's not a bluff. They listen and ask questions. Don't make everything about themselves. Doing random, seemingly pointless kind acts. Me and a now ex-boyfriend were skipping school to be together for a day before a move. As we were walking, it started to pour down. So he told me he knew a place we could get out of the rain. As we were walking, he noticed someone's mailbox was open. He lived a few miles away, but he crossed the street taking me with, just to close the mailbox of someone he didn't know, because it was raining. I would go more general to say how a person treats strangers. It's easy to be kind to those we have an intimate / platonic / blood relationship with. How we react when a stranger needs help is what really shows us who we are. How someone treats minimum wage staff is important. Using please, thank you, etc. It shows that they empathize with others and respect other situations. Oh my god, I spoke with someone at customer service and he literally said thanks to me for being so polite and patient, and that some people were really hard to deal with. The sad part was I wasn't exceptionally nice or sweet. I was just polite and patient because I knew how hard their jobs can be emotionally. Welcome to retail, where people treat you like an NPC in their single player RPG. Just the other day I was at Panda Express and an older woman was ordering ahead of me. The staff seemed short-handed and kept saying sorry and I'll be with you in a second to me. I was in absolutely no rush in the slightest and kept assuring them they were fine. Said please and thank you while I ordered because normal people do that, I assume. Anyway, when I got to the register, still behind this older woman with a huge order, she told the staff to add my panda bowl to her total. I was zoning out and didn't initially hear that until she asked me if I'd like to add a soda to my order. In the end, she told me she really liked my attitude and behavior towards the staff and it was refreshing and she wanted to buy my meal for me. Made my day and my bowl tasted especially delicious. When they only have good things to say about others behind their backs or just simply not talking about others behind their backs. I disagree with this. I think if they had mostly good things about most people, would be better to ideal. Nobody is perfect and everyone has someone they dislike. Not talking about others is one thing, but not talking trash / shit talking about others is another. I agree if someone is mistreating you or someone else, it's unhealthy to keep it bottled up. Good manners don't always equal good person. Some people talk nice and act nice and even do good things, and then one day you realize they were playing you like a fiddle and were friends with you just so they could bed your wife. Oddly specific there. You want to talk about it, buddy? Genuine selfless acts. I remember when I started a chemistry class, we were immediately put into groups of 2 to start a presentation assignment which would go towards our final grade. Admittedly, it was a very small percentage. Our course was broken down into several pieces. The person I was with was immediately friendly and joking with me, basically did most of the work in setting up the presentation, then proceeded to present the whole thing by himself, even though I was planning to speak myself. When the teacher explained this is supposed to be a team effort thing, he said I made and set up the whole presentation. He just spoke. So I suppose someone could interpret it as the person wanting to do all the work himself and then lying to the teacher. I interpreted it as this guy just gave me an easy A and we were on good friendly terms for the rest of the time I was at the school. Please read edit. Just to clarify one key thing, since while I've enjoyed the discussions which have come from this, there is a key misunderstanding that happened because I cold worded the original text better. We were thrown into this group of 2, made to do an assignment and presented to the class within the 1 hour long class session. This wasn't a thing which was planned out for an extended period of time, like days or weeks. We had about 30 to 40 minutes to work with someone who in my case I haven't met before to plan then give a presentation in front of the class. This is likely why the person I'm referring to took charge and I wasn't able to do as much. If it was over a longer period of time like a week or 2, I'm sure I would have more say in what went into it. While we were working in groups, we were still given individual marks. This is why I considered it to be a selfless act when he said that I made the presentation. Maybe he didn't trust you and just wanted to be sure he'd get a good grade. I never trusted my partners in group projects. I did the majority of the work, but there's only one time I recall actually complaining about my partners, because in that particular case they really did nothing at all. Otherwise I was fine with everyone getting credit. Anyway, that's all FORTIS 1. Please like and subscribe and comment what you think is an indication of a good person.